Just feel like you can't catch a break. You know, when it rains, it pours for a year.
The most frustrating part is not being sure of what we could have been.
Who would have thunk it that the Lakers would not even make the playoffs? A lot of soul searching to take place during the offseason.
Our goal was to win the championship.
We didn't get it done. You can't make no excuses about it.
NBA season starts in 2 weeks. Kings and Lakers preseason play Monday night. Lakers haven't won a playoff series since they won the bubble championship in 2020. Didn't make the playoffs last year, winning 33 games. Don't forget their coach is Darvin Ham now. You saw LeBron and AD. There's LeBron. Woo! Pretty much next on his career list thing to do is, breaking Kareem's record for most points all time. That'll pretty much top it all off. Not sure if the Lakers have another title in them. According to this highlight, they do not, but they'll get better. James 0 for 7 from the field. 4 points, 1 rebound, played 16 minutes. But again, he's got a fortnight to figure out this basketball thing. Anthony Davis, size mismatch, and a little shake, and a bake, and a splash. Davis off to a good start. Second quarter, Lakers up by 7. Westbrook, back to Davis. Rocking the suburbs. Just like Quiet Riot did. Here we go. Davis. And he's on and he's healthy and he goes inside and outside. There's a lot there. 11 points, 11 rebounds in 16 minutes.
You could have made better decisions on the basketball court where you're not being heckled as much. There is some culpability that you have for that, although they're classless, and whoever was threatening his family, I think, need to be found and arrested personally. That's just me. But being a Los Angeles Laker, wearing that purple and gold, the thing that's most alarming about this season is just the absence of pride that appears to exist when it comes to wearing that purple and gold. And if LeBron James, the player on the court, numbers-wise, what he's doing, still phenomenal. But boy, has his leadership taken a hit because he doesn't seem to have an effect on the culture in a positive way in L.A. There's certain things you can't tolerate. And for them to lose 12 of their last 15, they are 0-9 since the All-Star break when LeBron doesn't score 50. 0-9 when LeBron doesn't score 50. They won the 2 games he scored over 50 plus, are the 2 games that they've won, and that's it. That's what we have to pay attention to, and it's this way. He wanted Russ. He wanted Anthony Davis perpetually injured. You got a chip. Congrats on that. But what we've seen disintegrating before our very eyes, this is going to stay with them for a long time, and Russell Westbrook has to go out of L.A.
Oh,
they don't want to.
They don't want to say real quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, in both your points, yes, Russell Westbrook averaging under 18 points, his lowest in the league since his second year in the league. But I will say this, a lot of Russ's game is built on his confidence, his ego, his swagger. And since he's not having that on the court, maybe he's trying to carry it over to some of these press conferences so he can still show he's got a
rationale doesn't matter, though.
Yeah.
It's what it's the perception, not the rationale behind it. It's what you're allowing that perception to exist about you. They don't even care right now. They want him gone. I'm talking about the city. They want him gone. And that's not me. I don't care.
They want him gone. Though, in cities like Boston, Chicago, Philly, New York, when a team is bad, fans double, triple down on you. Hear their venom. Like, sports radio in New York, if people come at you, they attack you. It almost feels like in L.A., and I lived in L.A. for a couple of years, like you become irrelevant. It's like, oh, okay, like you just never happened.
Different, yeah.
Right? So it almost feels like the irrelevancy has been replaced with the Russell Westbrook reality show.
Yes.
And the reality show is all this extra stuff. Here's the thing that was the most disappointing thing about it last night for me, Stephen A. Because as a hooper, and people in life, you go through ruts. Things happen, right? You have to keep fighting it. And I see the mentality of a fighter at the post-presser.
And I think Russell will be better next year. I think he's going to be better next year.
But when you go against your arch nemesis, and we know the history. I've seen Patrick Beverley on J.J. Redick's podcast where he's like, yo, this man tarnished my career. He changed the league's perception of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So when you go against somebody that you know is bringing that type of venom, how do you not rise to that challenge, Stephen A? How do you not come in that game and say, I heard them last night, because I'm watching you guys in Macon, I'm watching the game.
Right.
They're going under pick and rolls around the elbow area.
Right.
Saying he's with us.
That's right.
He's
with
at the
us.
elbow area.
He's with us.
And my man is catching the ball, jabbing, like not knowing what. How do you not at least have 15, 20 shots? Just be aggressive.
I can answer that point. In part, it's Russell Westbrook's fault, and its part is that he's broken. He's defeated. Russell Westbrook has no confidence.
We've never
in
said
his shot.
this about him
We've
in
never
the history
said
of the
ever.
game
He has
before.
no confidence in his perimeter shot. I said attack or kick it. Attack or kick it. Don't shoot any jumpers. Just attack the basket. But when they're saying he's with us, you're trying to prove them wrong, and you can't, and you know it now. You have no confidence in your jump shot. But the bigger problem is that, again, every little thing you do, you're doing this. Every little thing you do, you're reminding people of what you were like when you had the upper hand. Mm-hmm. And they didn't forget. And now they coming for you. And your response is to go into the media and appear nonchalant. If Russell Westbrook had that same passion at the podium that he has on the court, it would be forgivable.
Yes.
Because this is a guy that he can't get it, but damn it, he's trying. But even though we know he never cheats us with effort, because he never cheats us with effort, you cannot go onto the podium as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers acting indifferent and apathetic to your circumstances. You do that, they're going to say, that ain't what we about. Who the hell is this? And the thing that makes it worse for him is that he's one of them. He's a Los Angeles. They're like, you know better. How could you be this way?
And LeBron is dropping 50-plus points at 37 to get your team wins.
They're looking at him and they're saying, how could you be this way? You're supposed to know better. Listen, I'll give you this is the last point. Everybody know one of the biggest fans of the world is Snoop Dogg. That's my dog now, okay? He wants to come on First Take. I've held him off because I'm afraid of what he'll say. I got to make sure this is FCC Airways. It's FCC Airways. I mean, when this dude, Snoop Dogg talks about the Lakers, it's worse than some of his songs. And his songs are off the chain, but I'm just talking about cussing. This dude is furious. And I'll be like, you come on, just take your time. Ice Cube didn't call him yet. I know he's disgusted. List goes on and on. I ain't seen Denzel at a Laker game. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, I ain't seen him. Ain't nobody want to see these guys. You understand? They want to see LeBron, but they don't want to see these guys. It's a level of disgust. And I'm telling you right now, for Russell Westbrook to be from there and to be nonchalant in these post-game conferences after performing this way, people are furious.
The last thing I'll say on this real quick, Stephen A., is that I know this is going to happen because people do that, and I will combat it. I will fight it because Russell Westbrook is a Hall of Famer.
Yes, he is.
And I know how hard it is to do what he did at the level
Can't take away what he's done.
Sustained over the years.
Can't take away what he's done.
But this narrative about empty stats and no championship, there will be a part of people that will look at his legacy as that.
Yeah,
and all he had to do was come in the post-game conference and not be nonchalant.
I know,
be
man.
just as passionate, and he would have been forgiven for this year. Damn, he's having a bad year. We hope he comes back.
We all need to not have recency bias.
Okay.
Is the Lakers traded for a top 75 greatest player of all time in Russell Westbrook. They didn't really have to give up much. So I would say that it wouldn't be the worst trade in Laker history. I would say it would be the worst failure in Laker history. Hell, I'm willing to say that it would be the worst failure in NBA history if they don't make the playoffs or if they get bounced in the first round. But look, you made a lot of points. I was watching y'all on the count. Yeah, in the playing game. I was watching y'all on the countdown the other day. Leave me up here with you, Stephen A.
Yeah.
And
by the way, did you see the black suit, the Matrix, the Men in Black look I was rocking?
I did.
Did you see that?
I did.
Okay.
You was dripping so hard it had a water puddle down there. Listen, here's the thing.
Right.
Here's the thing I want to say. I watched you, Magic, Greeny, Will Bourne, and Jay Rose, and y'all was sitting up there and y'all was discussing the games and all that, doing y'all thing. And then I watched LeBron James come from the layup line and dab all y'all up and show y'all love. And I bring this point up to say to a lot of young guys, including and older guys, including Russell Westbrook, LeBron James came and dabbed you up. Me and you done had plenty of arguments on here about the GOAT situation, and you done brought up facts about LeBron and things to that nature. But LeBron James, understand, is nothing personal. This is what he signed up for. We're talking about the game of basketball. And here's the thing that I have that bothers me so much about Russ right now. We're talking about basketball, and you know how I feel about Mama Westbrook. You know how I feel about OG Westbrook. You know how I feel about Nina and them lovely kids, and even his brother Ray. We're not talking about life. And so when Russ goes on there, and I'm watching the interview because I didn't get a chance to come on here and address it with you, and the reporter asked him and said, the journalist asked him and said, well, what did you envision? I didn't envision nothing. And I sat back and said, Russ, are you serious right now? Why in the hell did you sign off to go to the Lakers if you didn't envision winning the championship? See, you can't go on there and say things like that. That's when Magic Johnson come on Countdown with y'all and get pissed off and say the words he say, or the great James Worthy say the things that he say when he say things pregame. So look, man, at the end of the day, the Lakers are done. Okay, whether they make it out of the play-in and get in the first round, the Lakers are done, Stephen A. They're done. They just don't have the personnel to compete with those top teams in the Western Conference, even if they get out of the play-in.
Okay, if they get out of the play-in, could they win the first round? I sincerely doubt it, but my God, the way LeBron James looks Saturday night was something spectacular, and anything's possible. Let me say this about Russell Westbrook, and I'm going to close this out. I happen to know that Russell Westbrook had issues with people challenging his character. I want to state for the record, his character is not to be challenged. He's a family man. He don't get in any trouble. He don't engage in any nonsense. He gives back to the community. He cares about people a lot of people don't give a damn about. And he's very philanthropic and charitable with his time, his money, his energy, the whole bit. He's a good brother.
Yeah.
And his family. His father came to me to give me a hug. It was great to see his dad, when, the other night at the Clippers game or what have you. I've loved his father for years, and his mama is wonderful, and I know his wife is great too, and we know all of that about Russ. Here's where the problem lies. Saturday night, the Countdown crew that you talked about, we were told afterwards, I don't know if it's true or not, we were told afterwards, Russell Westbrook wasn't even warming up half the time. He was busy staring at us, because he was ticked off, okay, because of some of the headlines between Magic and myself, whatever. Again, I don't know if it's true, but that's what they said. Here's the part that he gets upset about if you look at what I've said about him. Last year, you in Washington, press conference. I don't care about championships. I see plenty of champions who are less happier than me in life. You come to this season, just a few months ago, weeks ago, rather. They talked about, do you take this home with you? Please, I don't take that home with me. I'm good. Y'all take that bleep home with y'all. Blah, 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 blah. Then the other day you said, I have no expectations. Russell Westbrook's effort on the court, he never, ever cheats us. He gives us all he has. But what he doesn't understand is that you forget that when he's struggling and he says stuff like that, because then he gives you the impression he getting paid, so he don't care. Now, I know he don't feel that way. You know he don't feel that way. You know he's a better man and a better professional than that. But others don't know that. And when you say that, but you representing the Washington Wizards, you got a shot of getting away with that. When you representing the Los Angeles Lakers, and you've got Magic Johnson talking about you, and James Worthy doing post-game on you. And, oh, by the way, it's the same. You're a teammate with LeBron and Anthony Davis. And, oh, by the way, it's the same uniform that Kobe Bryant wore, God rest his soul. And that same Kobe Bryant looked at you one time and said, you next. That's how lofty the expectations were for you. You cannot utter those words. You can't do that wearing a Lakers uniform because no one's going to remember everything else. You're going to be the guy that we go to Springfield and celebrate when you go into the Hall of Fame and they're going to give you your props for a speech. But nobody's going to remember you at any other time because they're going to remember what you said about championships not being a priority, and they're going to remember what you said about not taking it home with you, and they're going to remember what you said about not having expectations. I'm not saying it, Molly and Perk, to get on them. I'm saying him to help them. In case you don't know, in case you're wondering what the narrative is going to be, I'm giving you a heads up. Bro, you've got